fully understand risk, not comprehending that emergencies may be short-lived or long-lasting, that their impacts may be focused and succinct, or may ripple outward to affect a surprising range of peripheral activities or groups. Understanding the scope of a crisis can also be challenging. A crisis might affect only an individual, or may be of catastrophic proportions and affect an entire nation. A crisis can affect every aspect of a company, group, or culture, both physically and psychologically. The term crisis is also subjective, having different connotations for those affected by or managing a crisis situation. The destruction and debris caused by Hurricanes Andrew and Katrina, the devastation of the Chernobyl reactor accident, the attack on the World Trade Center, the reputational challenges for CACI International Inc. following the Abu Ghraib allegations, the 2008 earthquake in China, and the 1994 passenger ferry sinking of the MV Estonia all vividly highlight the toll, both emotional and monetary, that a crisis, whether natural or man-made, can wreak on business. Companies often underestimate their ability to forecast and prepare for a crisis. Often, they are caught unaware and unprepared. Enterprise resilience meets the traditional threats facing domestic and international businesses, while also monitoring and protecting earnings drivers and company values. The areas of contingency planning and crisis management have grown in prominence during recent decades as governments and businesses suffer serious losses through inadequate risk analysis and the poor management of emergency situations, necessitating the requirement for comprehensive business continuity management plans, or enterprise resilience plans. While advising companies and groups on contingency planning and crisis management, either for new operations within remote, volatile, or challenged environments, or for business expansions within existing operating areas, it quickly became apparent to me that a considerable amount of time, resources, and capital was invested in short-term measures that met the needs of only a narrow user audience, rather than designing sustainable and transferable solutions which could be continued past the point of initial requirement and therefore better support organizations in effectively managing risk over the long term. While this seems an obvious requirement, it is one which is often poorly managed or even overlooked, and surprisingly, it is common for policies and plans to quickly become redundant or difficult to sustain. When developing my first book, Risk and Security Management: Protecting People and Sites Worldwide, John Wiley & Sons, 2008, my intent was to provide companies with the tools and systems which would allow them to develop sustainable and effective risk and security management solutions most cost-effectively, or, alternatively, to enhance the ability of executive officers to better understand how to direct outsourced security and risk management expertise in developing the systems, tools, policies, and services that would effectively meet immediate, interim, and long-term risk and security management objectives. The same approach has been adopted to this book, seeking to fuse strategic concepts with practical methodologies to support effective and structured crisis management while meeting the different layered requirements within an organization. This book is designed to provide an understanding of business continuity management, as well as provide practical tools, systems, and reports to help companies create their own plans or best managed outsourced support. The aim of this book is to provide the fundamental concepts for effective and sustainable business continuity and incident management, as well as detailed frameworks and pre-prepared materials for companies and security professionals to utilize. Such planning is fundamental to profitability, shareholder value, and market competitiveness. Yet despite the clear value of developing sophisticated and convergent methodologies to plan for and manage crisis events, frequently companies fail to adequately develop effective contingency and crisis response plans, policies, and systems. This book is focused on supporting a broad spectrum of users, including corporate boards and executive officers in terms of developing mature and comprehensive corporate governance structures and policies, chief financial officers in terms of saving costs and reducing insurance and liability premiums, legal